night in East New Britain holds a different kind of darkness. It is thick, warm, and alive, with the hum of insects and the distant sigh of the sea. It is in this velvet dark that he walks, Tutana Vurakit. Taller than any man of the Talai people, his form seems woven from the shadows of the rain trees. He is a silent part of the landscape, ancient as the volcanic rocks of Mount Tavraver, and in his long, slender fingers, he carries a small, tightly woven basket, its lid fastened with a clasp of blackened vine. No one knows what the basket holds. Some whisper it contains the first breath of the world. Others say it is a piece of the original night, or the still-beating heart of a forgotten ancestor. All agree on one thing. To Tutana Vurakit, it is everything. And the stories say, if you are brave enough or foolish enough to steal it, he will not smite you. He will find you, his eyes deep pools of patient sorrow, and he will beg. Please, his voice would be like wind through dry palms. Return it to me. I will give you a reward. The reward is a single, unassuming coin. Not gold, not silver, but a dull, gray disc that feels warm to the touch. With it comes a warning. The luck it brings is boundless, but it is a secret trust. Speak of it to a single soul, and the coin, and all the fortune it granted, will vanish as if it never was. One evening, a young man named KALEB, whose pockets held nothing but dust, and whose fishing canoe always returned empty, was stumbling home from a failed bet. He saw Tutana Vurakit. The immortal was still, gazing at the star-pierced canopy, the basket resting on a mossy stone beside him. A desperate, reckless thought ignited in KALEB's mind. He moved with a thief's swift silence, snatched the basket, and fled into the labyrinth of the forest. The basket was lighter than he expected, and hummed with a faint, internal warmth. That night, in his poor hut, KALEB could not open it. The vine clasp resisted all tools, all force, and a profound, unsettling feeling of wrongness settled over him. At dawn, Tutana Vurakit was at his door. He had to stoop to peer inside. His face was not angry, but etched with a deep, weary grief that made KALEB's heart clench. My basket, Tutana Vurakit said softly. It is of no use to you. Please, give it back to me. Shamefaced, KALEB handed over the small basket. The immortal's long fingers closed around it, and a sigh of profound relief escaped him. From a fold in his bark cloth attire, he produced the coin. For your return of what is lost, he said, placing it in KALEB's palm. It pulsed with a gentle heat. This will bring you favor. But the favor lives only in silence. Tell no one, not your mother, not your wife, not your dearest friend. The secret is the root of the luck. Break the root, and the tree will wither. KALEB swore, and Tutana Vurakit melted back into the forest. The change was immediate. The next day, KALEB found a large, flawless pearl in a small shellfish. His nets burst with fish when others caught nothing. A forgotten coconut grove he owned suddenly bore the sweetest fruit, which he sold for a high price. He won at small games, found lost things, It always seemed to be in the right place at the right moment. The coin he kept hidden in a tiny pouch around his neck, a constant warm weight against his skin. Wealth grew around him like lush vines. He built a new house, bought a fine boat. But wealth, he soon learned, is a heavy burden to carry alone. The joy of his luck screamed to be shared, to be admired, to be explained. His old friends questioned him, his family marveled. He offered gifts, but bit his tongue on the truth, and the unspoken secret became a wall between him and the world. One evening, filled with the good cheer of Beetle Nut and the company of his oldest friend, Samson, the wall crumbled. Samson, envious of a new outboard motor, prodded, "How, Caleb? How does the wind always fill your sails?" The secret, so long guarded, burst forth. "It is a gift," Caleb whispered, leaning close, his eyes bright. From Tutana Vurakit himself. He told the story of the stolen basket, the pleading immortal, and the magic coin. He even, in a final flourish of foolish pride, drew the coin from its pouch to show the astonished Samson. As his friend's fingers reached out to touch it, the coin's warmth flickered. In the space between one breath and the next, it faded not physically, but essentially. The dull gray metal became cold, inert, just a worthless sliver of old metal. Then, it was simply gone, vanished from his palm. A chilling emptiness filled the space where the coin had been, and it spread outwards. The next morning, his prized boat's engine seized beyond repair. A storm ruined his coconut harvest. His nets tore. Debts he'd forgotten emerged. Every venture turned to ash. Every opportunity dissolved like mist. The luck had not just left, it had reversed its flow, reclaiming its blessings with interest. Within a year, Caleb was back in his old hut, his clothes worn, his canoe patched and leaky. The memory of his wealth felt like a dream, a story he had once been told. Sometimes, on particularly dark, still nights, he walks near the forest's edge. He often sees Tutana Vurakit in the distance, tall and silent, walking his eternal path, the small basket held securely in his hand. The immortal never looks his way. There are no more coins, no more bargains. There is only the quiet rustle of the leaves and the enduring lesson that some magics are woven from silence, and that the greatest luck is not in what you gain, but in the trust you are able to keep.